Moving on to the next one, we've got the New York Jets going into Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Wayne, who do you have here?
Sorry, all the Zach Wilson fans out there. I gotta go with the Cowboys. Yeah, really impressive showing against uh, the Giants, who I know we both uh, uh, picked to win the last game there. But yeah, the Cowboys. Ah, man. I think they're not gonna be as surprised with regards to this whole Zach Wilson thing and preparing for Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know what it is, but it feels like the Jets always have the Bills numbers of some fashion. So uh yeah, this Cowboys team, I think Zach Wilson, I think that's just where the concerns are. It seems like he's matured a little bit, at least according to the Hard Knocks, a little bit. That being said, I'm just not going to buy into it at this point. Uh, and the Cowboys look pretty steaming out there. Tony Pollard again. Like I said, I feel like he's going to be like a top running back in fantasy. So that showing that he had, I think, was pretty telling there. And all around great all around win. I think they had a last game. I think they continue on it. I think it's at 9. The last time I checked for the Cowboys, I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely think that it's going to be a close one with the Jets. So with that defense that the Jets have, I think they'll be able to get some pressure. Maybe not a whole lot of pressure on Dak. Maybe cause a turnover here and there, but yeah, in the end, I got the Cowboys winning. Maybe by a touchdown or three, something like that is what I'm thinking here.
Damn, did you say a touchdown or three?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this Jets
Holy
team, this
shit.
Jets defense is good. This Jets defense is good, okay? I think that's the one thing that'll keep them in games. But hey, I can say that and Zach Wilson's gonna throw 3 interceptions and that's gonna that's gonna pull it off for them. So for me, it's like I think Robert Sale is gonna be like, hey, let's just run the ball a little bit. Let's just play ball control, but it's gonna be hard against this Cowboys defense.
Yeah. Um, my gut is telling me this game's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of like 17 to 10, 17-13 Dallas. I obviously saw the onslaught that happened in New York this weekend, but I also did see the New York Jets play some pretty incredible football against Buffalo with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was under center the entire game. So it's not like he came in toward the end and Aaron Rodgers had established some scoring for them out the gate. So what I see at least from Zach Wilson is like you're saying a little bit of the maturity from Hard Knocks. I've been watching. I am thinking that he knows how embarrassing his last year was, and I think Aaron Rodgers um, did show that he was open to Zach and was like being respectful to him and obviously like coaching him along. Like I'm sure he learned a lot this past summer from Aaron just being, around him and being in camp. So, will that translate to Zach Wilson ever being like a starting quarterback in the NFL legitimately? Like, I don't know. But I think that, earning the respect of his teammates is going to be the first step. And I think that he'll be able to do that by the end of the year if I have to, if I have to make a prediction of some kind. But I think this Jets defense is just too damn good. Like after watching that game against Buffalo, I'm like, Dak's gonna have his hands full. Like I think Dak's gonna be like running for his life in the same sense. I think that he's gonna have to find Tony Pollard to be, one of his safety blankets. He's gonna have to, push balls to CeeDee Lamb throughout this game, even though he may be shadowed by Sauce Gardner. So we saw from last week, like Jordan Whitehead was able to kind of clean up and get 3 picks of his own. So it's kind of like, man, even if they try to move off of CeeDee Lamb, like who are they going to go to? Like Brandon Cooks? Like I have Brandon Cooks as like one of my bench receivers right now, and I'm like very inclined to possibly drop the guy. I don't really know just yet, but it's like, at this point, this game's kind of a toss up to me. Like I still think Dallas has more on both sides of the ball right now to feel really good about them. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm changing my opinion on the Jets a little bit. Like I obviously don't, the loss of Rodgers is huge, and I don't know if they have enough to like win the division per se, but like that defense is going to keep them in so many different ball games this year. And if Zach Wilson can just be the Baker Mayfield of the New York Jets, something like that, where man, we know he doesn't have the talent, but he can just limit turnovers and move the ball down the field and use the weapons that he has around them. Like they can be a good football team. So yeah, that's where I'll go. Cowboys to win, but the Jets, yeah, they don't lose by 8.5.
Yeah, the more I watch this Jets team, the more I'm just a fan of them. I just like the way they play, the smash mouth defense, right? Like you definitely see that Robert Sale's like, footprint basically right in there. And I really like the defense. Yeah, it's just obviously the question marks on the offense. Obviously now without Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully he does have like he's kind of like a coach, right, over to Zach Wilson throughout the rest of the year, right? So, being like, hey, yeah, you got Garrett Wilson out there. We saw what he was able to do against White at the end zone, and hopefully, yeah, like being able to rely on the run game a little bit too, and just being able to make smart plays. I think that's really what it is for him. Like if he can be kind of like a Brock Purdy-ish type of player, like that's I think they can, they might be able to win the division just with like I don't want to say like he's like Brock Purdy's like basic
That's a big
plays.
statement, man. That's a
I
big
know, I
statement.
know, I know, I know. But at the same time, like I feel like they can he can have like he can actually like I don't know, pattern his game. I know he's the older player, but pattern his game a little bit to kind of what Brock Purdy's been doing, over there. Because I think they kind of have similar skill set a little bit. Brock Purdy can definitely, run around a little bit and like, yeah, like wait and basically until his wide receivers get open and extend the play. And I think that's like what makes Brock Purdy really special over there because they got a lot of talent around them. So but yeah, when you got a player like Garrett Wilson there, you can definitely do a lot of things. And then yeah, Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook. There's definitely a lot of players I think that can, really. There's just a lot of weapons there. I feel like that they can actually use, just being able to get them the ball and not turn over the ball, right? So, yeah, I have a lot of hopes still. I think for the Jets. Do they beat the Bills after the division? Like, I don't know if I want to make an amendment quite yet, but it's definitely a lot closer. I feel like so. But yeah, like if the Jets are able to win in Buffalo, that could be something that might actually decide the division. But yeah, I really love this defense. Like what I saw from Jermaine Johnson as well. Looks like he's taking another step. Looks like he trained in the off season, just like went crazy. Because he had a killer game and just brought a ton of pressure against Josh Allen there. Like they did not have an answer for that. So that defensive line, I think I said that the Commanders had the best defensive line. They probably have the most talent, but in terms of like overall play and and how deep it is, like that Jets front line was just going nuts against a pretty decent, like okay, I think Bills line over there. So, but yeah, gonna still, yeah, go with the Cowboys for sure. I think in this game.